Hi, I'm the mean cook, and my name is Kevin, by the way. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna make ragu. Not the classic ragu, the bird kind, you know, the light one, the healthy one. Also, I'm not a professional chef, I'm not a professional cook. I have never worked in a professional kitchen. I have no qualification to teach you anything whatsoever in the kitchen. The only purpose of my videos are entertainment. So please, be entertained as I cook a healthy version of the ragu. Okay, so this is a POV video, and I'm gonna make turkey and chicken ragu. So my girlfriend cleaned this up, but it's not perfect, but we're gonna use it anyway. So 20 grams of oil in, 20 grams of oil, 20 grams of oil, 20 grams of oil. Then follow me to my fridge, and we're gonna use 20 grams of butter. And I'm gonna put this thing in, which is cream of garlic. If you want to know how to make cream of garlic, let me know in a comment below. Okay, so tear this out. We hit tear, so it's 0 again, and we're gonna go in with 20 grams of butter. 20 grams of butter. This is 15 grams of butter. This is a lot of butter already. Okay, 19, fine, whatever. Yes, this is precise Italian cooking. Okay, so before I go back to the fridge and before I put the butter back, I'm gonna open up the cream of garlic. Okay, oh great, this is not what's supposed to happen. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna really wait out the cream of garlic, but I'm just gonna grab a teaspoon and I'm gonna put it in there. And then I do like to flatten the cream of garlic back, so it looks like it's new. I'm also testing out the quality of the base microphone of this camera. This is, by the way, if you're asking, it's a DJI Osmo Action 4, which was on sale on Amazon. It's really handy to have a secondary screen on my phone because my camera right now is on my forehead. So if the camera's on my forehead, how the hell am I supposed to see what you're seeing? But since I have this amazing technology, oh shit, I forgot the butter. Shit, you can see my kitchen right now in a POV manner. This is really interesting. On an even more interesting note, I tried doing that, and by that I mean what you're seeing right now, with my normal phone, and I bought adapters and you know, head mounts and everything, but it didn't work, okay? Because I'm a dumbass, and my phone, as good of a phone it might be, doesn't really have the capacity to do that. So medium heat right now on the smallest stove. Put the pot in without any salt because we're gonna add it later and we're gonna wait it out later. Okay, so this is a professionally crafted from a company called Paderno. I don't know if you can see it. Paderno. It's called Paderno, and Paderno, it's an Italian tool cooking merchandise, whatever, and it's a good, nice brand. I'm not paid by them, but I paid them. These are like $10 a piece, and I bought something like 9. These ones included. These ones are pretty nice. These ones, and probably gonna use this one, you know, to break up the meat. To break the meat apart as I cook it. Okay, so right now what I'm looking for is just for the butter to melt and for the water to start evaporating. Now I've added 2 ingredients that are rich in water, kind of rich in water, but I added 2 ingredients that have water in them. One of them is the cream of garlic and the other one is the butter. So I want to put some heat behind those little elements. English, my friend, English. I'm Italian, by the way. I'm not English. I'm not American. I'm not Australian or whatever, you know, country that's an English-speaking country. I'm Italian. I learned English by myself. See, you see the bubbling right now? This bubbling is is simply the water content that is just starting to evaporate. Because we know that, I grabbed this one. Because we know water boils at 100 degrees. So it's this mixture that I've created inside of the pot is reaching 100 degrees and the water is starting to evaporate. That's what's happening, in a microscopic matter. Let me grab the meat. Okay, so I let the meat unfrost. And this is not a specific recipe, by the way, because traditional ragu recipe calls for cow meat or at best pork and cow meat mixed together. It's a mixed mince. I am using a mixed mince, but I'm using chicken and turkey. Why? Because we're gonna respect my macronutrients, and I'm on a diet, and because I'm meal prepping right now, and the way my meal prepping works is I have to, and the way every person on the planet's meal planning and meal prepping works is you gotta respect the macros. And if I use beef, if I use cow or pork, very fatty, my macronutrients get all fucked up. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so one thing you should be avoiding is letting those pieces of paper fall. But sometimes it's hard. Okay, whatever. So, I'm not gonna disclose the exact amount because I am meal prepping right now. Let me rinse my hand a little bit. I am meal prepping right now based on my nutritional needs. The purpose of this video is just showing what a random dude in the world does, and maybe to give you an idea what to do next. Okay, I'm not disclosing my full macronutrients breakdown or anything because you don't need it. Okay, you really don't need it. You need an idea. You don't need to know what I eat, how I eat, because chances are you probably have a different body than mine. So why would you need my macronutrients? So this is like this is 900 grams of meat. By the way, I am Italian. I'm European, so I use the metric system. So if you're American, you have no idea what I'm talking about, quantity-wise and measurement-wise. I am gonna try and translate the quantities from kilograms to pounds or grams to pounds or whatever, but I might not be so precise, but I will try just for the sake of letting as much people as I can about my recipes, because I'm an egocentric piece of shit. No, I'm not. Okay, so this is the turkey. Okay. All the meat that I'm adding to the mix is minced. Okay, so chicken first and then turkey. There's not really a specific reason to why you should add one kind of meat first and the other one after. It's not really. It's just me. Okay. They are approximately equal in terms of quantity, turkey and chicken. But turkey in my country, in Europe, in my country, Italy, comes in smaller packages. So 900 grams of chicken are in 3 packages, so 300 grams each. Turkey comes in 400 grams packages, okay? And 300 grams is approximately 10 ounces. And so every package of turkey, of chicken, okay. The metric system is too easy, so I have to get used to doing calculations in the wrong way, because that's objectively the wrong way. Okay, the rest of the world using the right system, the metric system. Why would you? But whatever. This is not that kind of video. This is 900 grams of chicken mince and 800 grams of turkey mince, or 10 ounces of chicken mince and for fuck's sake, 800 grams. So no, this is oh shit. Basically, it's 2 pounds of meat. Okay. Yes. Fantastic. Okay. I'm sure that with time I'm gonna I'm gonna improve. Okay, by, you know, my conversion skills are gonna improve. Okay, so as the meat is cooking, you wanna break it down. Okay, you wanna break it apart. You don't wanna let one side cook more than the other. You don't wanna overcook and burn one side and let the other part of the meat to stay raw. One thing you can do is leave the heat on a not so high level, and see all these particles of meat is just spraying on my shirt. Wow, fantastic. Yes. One thing you can do is cover this stuff up. Oh, this is too small. Okay, good thing I have another one. You can cover this thing up and wait for it to you know, trap the heat inside and let the meat cook evenly. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna clean up and figure out how much meat I put in the pot in terms of pounds. Okay, so 1 ounce is 28 grams. 28 grams. Oh, God damn it! I'm gonna look for a calculator because I can't use my phone right now. Oh God. How much? Okay, total is like 1,700 grams of meat. So 1,700 grams of meat. It's like, how much is it? It's like 3 pounds? What is that? 3 pounds? 3.5 pounds? How do Americans use the system? I don't understand. If you're American right now, how do you use the system? I mean, like, I wasn't born using the system, but how can you, like, you see my hand motion is like really Italian right now, and I use grams. Also, we have like every 100 grams, every 100 grams, like you go to the grocery store and you buy 300 grams of prosciutto, and you say, can you give me 300 grams of prosciutto? And these are called ettos. Etto. 1 etto is 100 grams of a specific thing. 3 ettos of pasta is 300 grams of pasta. Or 10 ounces. Oh my God, I did it. Let's go. Okay, so when you close it up and, oh yeah, you can smell the garlic. Oh no. Oh, ow, 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 ow. You see why I wanted a POV video? Because you can see every fucked up thing I do. This is fantastic. Come on, this is golden. Okay. Fantastic, amazing, fantastic, amazing, amazing, fantastic. I'm sure I'm not the first person to have this idea on YouTube, and but my purpose on YouTube is not to teach you. I'm not teaching you anything, okay? Because I have no qualification to teach you anything. I'm just a random guy who cooks on the internet, and I show you what I do. You know, in your group of friends, the guy that you go to eat with, you know, you go to their house and he cooks and he knows how to make pizza, he knows how to make bread, he makes that specific kind of pasta that's so good. I don't know if you guys have it in your country, but I'm like the foodie of the group, okay? I'm the dude that you sent on WhatsApp your recipe to, because you're proud of what you've done, and you let him see this, okay? And you let him see, like, yes, dude, look at what I made, and he tells you, yes, this is good, and because you trust them with the food, because they're kind of obese, you know. I'm the slightly obese guy of the friends group that knows his way around the kitchen, okay? I'm no cook at all, okay? I work as an administrative assistant in a hospital. I work with bills and money and administrative stuff. Boring. I am not a chef. I'm not a cook. I'm a home cook, okay? And I enjoy eating because I have a belly, basically. When you reach this stage on the meat, it's important to break it all apart, because I don't like for it to be too whole or too big of the pieces. I don't like them to be too big, okay? And also, I'm using the pot that is just about right in terms of dimensions, and it can hold just about the right amount of meat. You see, it's almost all cooked through. It's not burnt. It's evenly cooked. It's not overcooked on one side. It's not undercooked on the other. It's just evenly cooking, because the fire is not too high, and I'm trapping the heat with the cover. Okay, so I will show you right now what we're gonna add next. There we go, and there we go. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Also, we're gonna weigh out the salt. And I do like to weigh out the salt. Why do I like to weigh out the salt? Because for a specific and very simple reason. Because I can, since this is meal prepping, I wanna know, confidently know how salty my food's gonna be, okay? This is gonna be ragu, and it's gonna be stored in my fridge up until I use it for, you know, as a pasta condiment or as a side, you know, with some homemade bread or, you know, some other type of carbohydrate. This is gonna be my protein, okay, for several dinners. That's how I meal prep. I split part A, ABC, like the protein and the carbohydrate. It depends on what I have in my house, what I want to do, what I have time to prepare and stuff. But this is gonna be broken down, this specific pot, in 8 portions. So it's gonna be 8 dinners I'm cooking right now. When I reach this point of cooking, of meat doneness, so to speak, I rise the flame a little bit. And you see there's still some pretty big pieces. I promise if a piece of meat falls down, I'm not gonna pick it up. I have done it in the past. Maybe I have done it in the past. Maybe I'm not gonna. But since I'm the only one eating this shit, you know, what do you want? What do you want? As of right now, what we're looking for is waiting for the water of the meat to evaporate, and as soon as it evaporates, we're gonna wait for some of the Maillard reaction to happen. A Maillard reaction is basically the meat cooking to a point where it forms a little crust on the bottom of this casserole, and by then adding some water or some wine or some vinegar or whatever, you allow for that specific, you know, reaction crust, black crust, to melt and to be re-added into the mix, and that adds quite a lot of flavor. In English, it's called deglazing the pan, or deglazing the pot, or deglazing the casserole, or whatever. Ragu is really a simple recipe. It's just letting it cook for long enough. I'm actually letting this cook while I go on a date with my girlfriend. I like to take my time breaking this down. If you break it down, come on. If you break it down, the pieces of meat are gonna be small enough so that they, how do you say? I don't want some pieces to be bigger than others. I want it to be, you know, homogeneous. Yes, homogeneous. That's the right word. So right now, since all the meat is cooked through, we're not gonna put the cover in, okay? Covering the pot allows for the heat to be trapped inside and to raise the temperature of the pot, of the inside of the pot. What I'm trying to achieve right now is to let the water evaporate, so naturally I'm not gonna cover the pot. Otherwise, how is the water gonna come out if I cover the pot? Okay, so as of right now, you're mixing and doing all this stuff. I can add the salt, okay? So this is gonna be 8 meals, okay? So again, I'm adding the salt, weighed it out. And when I weighted out the salt, I also want to know how much salt per meal I'm eating. Kind of, or kind of not. But the only reason I want to know it, not because of health reasons, I really don't care about that. I drink enough water to pee all the extra salt away. I drink almost 2 liters of water per day. Wow, can you believe that? I'm a big dude. But what I'm gonna do is weigh out the salt so I know the exact level of saltiness I reach. Okay, so let me grab my salt. And usually I weigh out stuff like this. I turn it on and I tear. And so when I take out, okay, let me just use this. No. 8 grams, 17 grams, 27 grams, 33. We're gonna reach about 38, 37. 30 grams, oh my God, English. 37 grams of salt for 8 meals, okay? This is, by the way, added salt. I'm not counting the salt that's already in the food that I'm adding to the pot. I don't know if there is any added salt. There is, probably in the tomato sauce or in the heavy cream that I'm adding, whatever. 38 grams of added salt for 8 meals. It's not that bad, you know, it's not that bad. Weighing out the salt when I'm meal prepping allows me to have a standardized result. So when I add that salt, I know specifically how salty it's gonna be, and I can adjust it throughout the recipes, you know, throughout the journey, basically, because this is not the first time of me doing this, actually, because I'm poor and I cook my own meals. And I'm trying to lose weight right now. Right now I'm cutting. I'm doing a heavy cut. I already lost 12 kilos or, let me do the conversion in pounds. 12 kilos or 26 pounds? How many is it? I don't know. I already lost 12 kilos or 26 pounds. Let me know in the comments if I got the conversions correctly. I probably didn't, but whatever. We're at 27 minutes of cooking. The meat is all broken down to a decent size. It would be enjoyable for me to find this size of, you know, of chunks of meat when I eat the ragu with bread or with pasta. I can use it as a condiment to, you know, long or short pasta, or I can eat it. I usually either eat it with pasta or with bread, homemade bread. And these are the chunks that I prefer to have. Not too big. Not too small, you know, just the right size to be, you know, just about, you know, whatever. This is my degree of chunkiness that I like. If you like chunkier or less chunky, whatever, do your own thing. Again, this is not a tutorial. This is not me teaching you stuff. This is just me giving you ideas if you don't know how to cook and what to cook tonight. This channel is not about teaching you guys how to cook. I probably make some technical mistakes in cooking, okay? If you are a professional chef and you know your way around the kitchen way more than I do, please let me know in the comments you did this and that, which you shouldn't have. It really helps me, okay? I am open to learn, and I'm open to be criticized, okay? I don't want to be those guys that they don't want to be criticized because they're the best there is. I'm not like that, okay? I'm open to criticism, constructive criticism. If you tell me you're ugly as fuck, okay, that's not constructive criticism, okay? If you tell me your English sucks, you're kind of right. I will do this very often, okay? This is my thing. You can see, you can hear, you can listen, probably. You can see. You can listen. Listen it. Okay. You can listen, the meat kind of bubbling. It's not actually the meat that's bubbling, it's the water at the bottom of the pot that's starting to bubble and evaporate. This is important, okay? You want it to be dry. It's not quite there yet, but you see there's a lot of water. Can you see the water? When I do this, there's water. You see the water? No. We do not want that. Also, I will be making fun of a lot of stuff. And if you feel offended by me, I am sorry. Let me know in the comments and I will see about that, okay? And from now on, it's going to be a boring recipe, actually. I'm going to cross my arms and wait for the meat to be done. Okay, it has been about like 10 minutes or so. The water in the meat is almost disappearing. So when you reach that point, you probably want to be aware of what you're doing and don't get far away from it. I know this is a long recipe. This is a tedious process, and you have to forget about it at some point because you have to give it at least a couple of hours at least to make it, you know, to make it a good proper ragu, even though it's not red meat. But you see, the meat is already trying to stick to the stainless steel pot that I'm using. Right now, what I'm gonna do is wait for it to completely try and start sticking to it, and then I'm gonna clean the bottom. Okay, so these extra ingredients are, this is heavy cream. I'm sorry, this is Italian. This is heavy cream. This is rosemary, and this is sauce, tomato sauce. This is 500 grams. This is also vinegar, apple cider vinegar, because I've added oil and I've added butter. I'm also adding heavy cream. When you add fats, you must add some acidic stuff in order to bring it all together and balance it out. So that's what I'm gonna add, and yeah, we're nearly there. Just about nearly there. Ideally, you want to let it form a thin crust at the bottom of it and not touch it so often, just as I'm doing, but not let it burn, okay? There's a difference between letting a thin crust form and letting it burn. That's the aromas and the taste is going to be completely different. If you want it to make the Maillard reaction, though, you should stop touching it. Okay, and I'm talking to myself right now, but I want to check the water content. Okay, the water is practically gone, so it's going to be a minute now. Okay, what you want to do is get ready with some water. You do not want to add the acidic part of apple cider vinegar before there is some Maillard reaction, because acidic environment does not promote that, okay? If I were to be adding baking soda, this is it. Baking soda would create a basic or alkaline environment, which would probably promote the Maillard reaction. This is not the case if you add acidic, okay? Acidic environments don't really allow you to have that crust, especially when you're frying stuff or pan frying stuff. Try pan frying, you know, when you make caramelized onions. You try adding a little bit of baking soda, they're gonna caramelize much better. Acidic, on the other hand, you have to always add acidic elements after you created enough Maillard reaction, never before. Otherwise, it's not gonna form and you're gonna have so much trouble and you probably waste a lot of time trying to achieve it, okay? Okay, if you're running out of time, just like I am, don't worry about the reaction, the Maillard reaction, and just add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And we're gonna add heavy cream. Heavy cream is usually added to ragu recipes in some parts of Italy because it basically makes it much richer and makes it taste really good. Especially when you're thinking about balancing out the acidic part of the tomato. But oftentimes people don't really add heavy cream. They add whole milk, and whole milk though has a problem. It adds also a lot of water to the recipe, and it tastes amazing. If you don't want to add a lot of water to the recipe, you add heavy cream. Probably the taste is going to be a little different. You want to know how do people make heavy cream? Well, they make it with whole milk. So whether you add whole milk or heavy cream, it's actually kind of the same thing, you know. So I'm gonna clean the tools because I don't want to waste a single drop of meat. I am frugal that way, okay? Don't blame me, okay? I did not grow up rich, so I could not waste food. Okay, you see? It's making all this noise when I stick. Oh my God, smells amazing. Oh my God, yes, okay. Adding some rosemary. This is really optional. Rosemary, you can also add another type of spice. Add whatever the fuck you want. I like rosemary, especially when the dish is really cooked for a long time. Or, you know, on crispy pizza with potatoes. I love rosemary. It depends on what you want to do, whatever. If you like it, add it. Basically, if you like it, add it. My motto. This is really dry, and that's what we want. Especially when you use ragu as a condiment, you do not want it to be super watery. Watery stuff is not that good when it comes to pasta condiments or eating ragu as a side with bread. Because it's just watery stuff. How are you gonna grab? Yeah, I know this sounds like you can do this with the bread, you know, the scarpetta in Italian, but no. Adding the tomato sauce. Nice sound, dude. Okay, try not to break it down. So we're gonna elongate it a little bit because we do not, and I repeat, we do not waste any drop of tomato sauce, okay? I'm Italian, okay? I do this. Every Italian does that, okay? Okay, this is clean. You see, this is clean. This is perfectly clean. There's no, oh, wait, I have to tend to it. I have to tend to the ragu. Oh my God. Okay. Only reason why I would make a runnier ragu would be if I have to cook, lasagna. If I'm making lasagna, the pasta that I'm using is store-bought or dried, very dry, and I don't want to cook it before, then I prefer to use a runnier ragu, which is richer in water content, so it helps me cook the pasta. But if I just have to add the ragu to some pasta, then it's kind of useless, You just make it runnier. A dry ragu is always better. Even if you go to an Italian trattoria, and you go to eat their stuff, and the ragu is really runny. It's kind of, get the fuck out of my face, Okay, so this has to stay here, a lowest heat, okay? And center it, and then lower the heat to the bare goddamn minimum. Let it stay there for, I don't know, at least 3 hours. Forget about it, literally forget about it, okay? I'm gonna forget about this. I'm gonna go out to eat, and I'm gonna check it out in a couple of hours, probably 2.5, 3 hours. The longer it stays there, the better it's gonna taste, okay? It's gonna probably taste better if you use cow or pork, but this is healthy ragu, a healthy everyday ragu. This is healthy everyday ragu if you're on a diet and you're a fat ass like me. Also, I changed my shirt. This is blue now. I totally trust my stove to leave it on when I leave the house. I don't care as long as the fire's not too hot and the pot is well placed on the stove, and I don't risk pot falling out of it. No, it's safe that way. So yeah, see you in probably 3 hours or so. Yeah, I'm probably gonna check it out, a couple times before I leave the house. But yeah, you see the sound? That means the heat is taking action. Keep in mind, memorize this color. You see this color? This is kind of, I don't want to say pale, but it's like pale red, almost like orange. I don't know, pinky, orangey stuff. It's gonna be completely different when I open it up in a couple of hours, okay? Trust me on that, Make sure it's covered. You want it to be covered because if it's not covered, it's like this, it's gonna dry way more. And there's already not a lot of water actually, since it's gonna cook a little longer than I thought. I told you to prep some water before, right? And forget about it for 2 hours. Okay, that's probably gonna be it. It's 10 p.m., around 10 p.m. See, it's rich red color. My girlfriend is fast asleep. I probably should be sleeping as well. I have to make portions, so I still have a bit of work to do. But that's how you make ragu. Bird Ragù. That's how you make my ragu. That's what I'm about to eat for 8 nights in a row. Only took, 4 hours. Bye-bye.